Absolutely fantastic to see the sport returning, all sport returning to full packed out schedules. And watching the athletes return from the enforced hiatus and how they've responded to it. It's time now to find out who's going to take the gold. We know Erolju's taken bronze. It's back down to the shooting line for the introductions.
On target number 1, representing Italy.
Al bersaglio numero 1 per l'Italia,
Elisabetta Minjo. On target number 2, representing Greece.
Al bersaglio numero 2 per la Grecia,
Dorothea Poimenidou. Line judge of this match is Mr. Bjarne Strandberg.
So it's a gold medal match-off between the host nations Elisabetta Minjo and Dorothea Poimenidou from Greece. Now, as you said, Chris, we don't see many Greek athletes, but Poimenidou, she's here. She's made it through to the gold medal match. Do you fancy your chances?
Well, she's seeded third in this event. She's got the quality, but it's Minjo who's seeded top. So it's going to be an uphill battle.
Time to get the gold medal match underway.
7,
7.
Oh.
10.
Well, that's a great 9 from Poimenidou. The first arrow from Minjo, absolutely slap bang in the middle of the target.
7,
7.
Seven.
7.
23 points.
Opportunity for an early good start here.
4. 21 points, and this gives the first 2 set points
well,
to Greece.
I have to say, I'm slightly stunned by that, Chris.
2-0 lead.
Yeah, she started so well, did Elisabetta. Started with that 10, it just kind of got worse as the set progressed. You could see on her face that something wasn't quite right with that last arrow, but she didn't fling her bow, she didn't do anything untoward. So perhaps just a gust of wind, perhaps just an aiming mishap. You know, after that first arrow, it looked like Minjo would be in command of this, but that's not the case. Her opponent, Dorothea from Greece, two Paralympics under her belt, by no means a stranger to international competition, to international para competition. Now it's not the underdog who's got the uphill battle in this one.
You talked before about how it has been, well, even by Rome standards, very, very hot. And it looks like Minjo is suffering from a little bit of the effects of heat. They're having to have an ice pack applied to her in between the sets. Well, we'll wait to see if that one continues to play out. You can see a few clouds in the sky here. But if anything, that's just pumping up the humidity and keeping the heat in. So we look at Poimenidou just rehearsing ahead of this second set. So a surprise after such a great first arrow to see Minjo losing the first 2 set points. She will begin the second.
Another strong first arrow from the Italian archer. Both these athletes have really interesting techniques. Dorothea's far more obvious as she does the old traditional Eastern European lock the back arm back and put the head on top. That's causing a rather large cavity to emerge in the front of her chin. But while we've seen most para archers in a wheelchair so far, they lean back into their wheelchair to take the shot. Minjo actually leans forward. It's interesting because in the wind, I mean, the further you lean forward away from that support, the more you're balanced on something of a knife edge.
So an opportunity to put this out of reach. A 7 would do that, and Minjo would be back on level terms in terms of set points.
9.
Looks like she's clipped the line there for a 28, which is an insurmountable target within this particular set, of course. Important arrow for Poimenidou to get ready for the third set, because they are now all square. It's 2 23s from Poimenidou, a 21 followed by a 28 for Minjo, and perhaps we're seeing a little bit more of what we expected from the Italian.
Yeah, Elisabetta Minjo has really got more comfortable in this match. Let's be honest, there's only one arrow that leaked away from her in that first set. It was the 4 down bottom left. You can just see the arrow hole. Without that, she'd probably be 4 set points to 0 up. As it is, tied after 2. And Dorothea, building on this early start, has an opportunity. Get the nerves in the bank and really start to take control. Interesting that she's moving her arm down, the arms of her t-shirt down. Usually, you roll those up to avoid being hit by the bow or for heat. If it is because they're being clipped by the bow, why would you roll them down after 2 sets? Why would you change anything?
Interesting, we'll have to see what she has to say about that afterwards.
Target 2 shooting first.
Remaining as focused as she can. Dorothea Poimenidou of Greece will start the third set, all square at 2 apiece with Elisabetta Minjo.
10.
First one of the match for her.
Demoralizing response. Poimenidou has a really nice position, alignment at full draw, but it's because of that bent front arm, and if you don't keep it under control, and it can be quite damaging.
Ooh, this is looking ominous now. It's the second one in a row after 2 9s.
9.
Good response, but 25 is very much a gettable target.
9.
And she's just getting better and better Elisabetta Minjo shooting a 29 out of a possible 30 to come from 2-0 behind to lead 4-2 in this recurve women's open gold medal match at the European Championships of 2022.
Yeah, and Minjo really has shot better from the off here. Again, just that single arrow in the first set that landed into the four that's kept this from being a three-set match. She seeded top in qualification here at this event, and she really has been quite good during the eliminations as well. Just one match to finish it off. Dorothea, my mistake, has shot well, but she's leaking one or two out each time, and it really is about that technique and maintaining control. The more fluid, more movement in the setup to the shot, made famous by Italian archer Michele Frangili in the kind of modern era. It can be deployed to fantastic effect, but if it's not controlled properly, then it's very easy to make the kind of mistakes that will sink a set system match.
Well, not quite so much interaction on the Greek side of the shooting line. Lots of ice being applied, but now it looks like that ice is just a remedial thing to keep things going, keep the temperature down. Poimenidou starting at the fourth, trailing by 2 set points.
Ten.
Well, that's what's asked of it. Put down big scores to put pressure on your opponent.
Nine. 8. 8.
Doesn't matter how you get there. From one behind, Minjo finds herself one up, and this is now in the Italians' hands. This is an important arrow for Poimenidou.
You can hear the wind picking up as well.
7.
Oh, so there's that loose arrow you mentioned, Chris. A 25 is the target set. So 6 for the draw in the set. Any more, and it's European gold for Minjo. Oh, and she's having to reset here. Time pressure is on her. 7 for the European title.
7 to win, it's an 8.
And she gets the 8, which is what she needs, obviously subject to confirmation. But it looks like a solid 27, and that would give her a 6-2 win. It looks like Poimenidou is ready to concede. They're not going to wait for the target judge. It is a gold for Elisabetta Minjo from Italy.